Welcome to my color trends for 2026. I'm a practicing designer and we work in interiors and exteriors, and definitely we see the color trends. Definitely done this for over 30 years and studied color. It's kind of my hobby. So I want to share with you the color trends that I see up and coming to give you a little bit of insight into what to paint or what to buy in terms of what is going to trend and what is going to fad. The difference between a trend and a fad is pretty significant. A fad means it comes and it goes. So you add it as a punch of something, but then you're like, meh, I'm over it, and you give that piece away to someone else, or you use it in another part of the house. A trend, on the other hand, is a much longer time commitment. It means that that item or that color, in this case, is something that's going to last, or it's moving into it kind of like a wave. So you're going to get a little bit, and then it's going to peak and come down again, which typically gives us 5 to 7 years in that particular direction. So let me show you the colors that I see that are trending and what I think is maybe a little bit of a fad, but still has a little bit of life in it and is worth investing in. So I'm going to show you these colors using paint chips. And these are a mix of paint companies, but the color really speaks to what I see as being colors that my clients and you might in fact like. So let's start with the really big ones. And I know for a lot of people, this is going to be stressful because these colors are really new. Number one thing to note is the palette is warming up and the palette is becoming livable warm. So these are colors that have warmth to them, but they're not so warm that you can't have them all over the house. And the big direction here with this is any kind of neutral like this. So I have this color here. This one is from Bear, and this is called Creamy Mushroom. This is a really nice, I'll just put it here against my jacket. It's probably easier to see. You can see that it's got a little bit of taupe to it, but it's warm. Now, another version of this that's a little bit cooler is from Benjamin Moore called Sea Salt. So that might be another option. So these sort of taupey creams are colors that we're really seeing replace that light bluey gray that's been popular over the last few years. Also, white is darkening, so not as bright a white on the wall, and that's where we're moving to a color like this. This color here is Benjamin Moore. Again, it's a warmer white. This color is called Etiquette, and you can see, just looking at it here, that it does have a little bit of an undertone to it that's kind of creamy, kind of gray. So this is what I mean about whites are deepening. So they are becoming a little bit easier to live with, not quite so bright. So those are going to be our neutral bases that we're going to see things develop or build on top of. Okay, this is another big trend, and this is the warming up of beige. Now this color, also from Benjamin Moore, is actually called Knitting Basket. But let me show you, I don't know if you can see here, but although it looks taupe, let me put it against this, maybe you can see. Can you see that that color, Knitting Basket, has a ton of pink in it? So that's really what we're seeing, is this super warming up of color. So this color is really a new direction, meaning you're going to see your beiges get warmer over time. And that's a great example of it. So it's not pink. Okay, I just want that clear. It's not actually pink, but it's got a pink or warm undertone in it. Okay, so those are the rest of our neutrals that are really we're building with. Now, the other big one, here it comes. Yep, this is it, brown. We are going to see new brown move into the palette in place of the mid-tone grays. Now, that doesn't mean charcoal is out. No, do not get rid of that color. It just means we're going to have a crossover period. So in terms of a trend, it means you're going to have brown as a new color, and you're going to have charcoal remain as an ongoing trend. So it's not going away. But the thing that's really new about this is these deep, rich browns that are very easy to live with. And for a lot of people, they've had this over the last 10 years, are probably pretty happy to see it come back. So let me tell you about the difference here. Both of these are actually Bear colors. So this one here, it's a little bit darker. This is called espresso beans, and it's got really a dark brown undertone with a bit of yellow. So this kind of color is going to go very, very well with those light floors that you've done in the last few years. The newer, probably richer color, this one's called Dark Truffle, also a Bear color. The other one you can look at from Benjamin Moore is called Chocolate Fondue, also a really good choice. You're going to see these really warm browns. So where are you going to see these? You're going to see these in definitely floors. You'll see more brown in floors and the influence of brown in wood flooring. but also in furniture. So where furniture used to be a blackened color, now you're going to see it more of a charred brown color. So that warmth is there. It's not super obvious, but you're going to see it come in. You're going to see it obviously as a paint color. You're going to see it in wallpapers. You're going to see it in bedding. So super dark, but instead of being black undertone, it will be a brown undertone. So you can see how nicely that mixes with our colors here. Kind of makes sense, right? When you start to look at it like this, you just get this really nice warm palette. Okay, so the big departures in terms of color, and again, you'll see this with all the paint companies. They all are really moving towards warmer tones in general because they do a lot of color forecasting. So the color that's been in the market is this one. This one is called, this is Benjamin Moore, and this is, let's see, Brickyard Clay. There's all sorts of variations on this, but this is this terracotta, but you'll notice that the terracotta is getting warmer. This has got really more about an undertone. You can see here against the black, really an undertone of a warm rose almost, but very livable. These kind of colors really comfort in times of need. Yes, you can use your paint to make you feel better. Believe it or not, this is one of those colors. Now, the derivatives of these colors would be more of this kind of blushy terracotta. This one here, this is also a Benjamin Moore, and this is called White Rose. Have to tell you, I have used this color for 30 years. It's a great color in that it's still a mid-tone, you can see here, but it's also very comforting. This is a great color as an accent wall, for instance. You add it to the wall, behind a bed, behind a headboard. It gives you this sense of warmth. Also a great color in a dressing room or a bathroom where you want great color on skin tone. This is great on any color of skin. It just warms it up. Okay, and yes, here's where it's going. It's returning to peach. And I know for lots of us, if you're of my era, you'll know that peach was maybe not your favorite color eventually. This one's called Galt Peach. Sorry, my sample here got a little ruined, but this I thought was a great color that we're seeing in statement stone. Yes, you're seeing it in countertops. You're seeing it turn gold, a little bit of peach. So this one may be more fad than trend, but you will see it influence other colors, meaning that gold may turn cooler as a color because we're getting so many warm colors out there. A couple other colors that this one I feel like probably is a little bit more of a trend. This is a version, this is called Casabel Chile, and it is from Benjamin Moore, and it's a burgundy. But let me put it here, you can see it's a really warm burgundy. Now, versions of this will also be popular that are grayed out, meaning they're not as intense in color. But this is a really great color for accent in terms of furniture. So you may see this as a toss pillow, as a piece of fabric, some wallpaper. Again, you'll see more of it as time goes on because it's very easy to live with, especially when it's browned out, which this is not, but you'll see more of it. Here's what's happened to cognac, the color that's been popular the last few years. The terracotta has broken off to be warmer. So let me just show you here. There's our terracotta. See how it's gotten warmer. And then our other color here has gotten a little bit more brown. So this color is from Behr. I think it's a really good color. It's called Clay Pot. And it's really a brown without as much orange in it. So this kind of color will become an accent color to the browns and the more terracotta. So you'll see it woven in other things. You'll see this mixed with your charcoals and your grays to bring out the gold. So this is kind of where gold is headed. It's getting a little bit darker, deeper, richer, and you'll see this in the metals as it drifts towards bronze. All right, and last color that I think for a lot of people, it's probably going to be hard to tell, but if I hold it here, you can probably see the color. It's really the blackening of all those jewel tones. So if you can see here, this is a really, really dark green that's got super black in it, in the depth of tone or of color. And this one is actually called Waller Green. So you will see burgundy get darker, dark green get darker, navy be darker, so they're almost blacks. These will be great colors for front doors for next year and the year after because they have a lot of depth to them, and as an accent or alternative to black. So instead of having black with no undertone, one of the big trends you're going to see is blacks with undertone. Most of us know white has an undertone. This is the same thing as with black. So be on the lookout for these toned blacks as we move out of pure black into colors that add a little bit more richness or color palette to our color palette. So those are my predictions as what we're seeing is top trends. Now, of course, there will be other colors. Pale blues are still out there. Some of the peacock and sort of, what do I want to call them? Like teal blues are going to come as well to complement this palette. But these are our starting ones that we're going to see in the beginning of 2026 and are already out there percolating. Such good ones. Some are fads, some are trends, but they're all really great because they're color.